Happy Wednesday, everybody. What's going on? I am extremely ill, and I've tried to do this like 10 times, so this might be as good as we're gonna get. So I'm making a farmhouse inspired wreath with all these plaids everybody loves. This is a wreath I got on clearance last year. I think it was 29 cents because it was 90% off. It wasn't even by the Christmas stuff, I just found it somewhere. This is a pie plate, originally $20, ridiculous. I got this at Michael's, and I actually picked the wrong one because I wanted the lighter one for the center of the wreath. Don't really know how I'm going to get it in there at this point, but we'll figure it out. These are some picks I got from Hobby Lobby. I think it was right before, because their Christmas stuff is like already on clearance. This was last year though. I got a bunch of them for my tree this year, and I just cut them apart because this wreath isn't super big. I think it's 20 inches. And I'm just showing here that I want to put these over here, and I want my bow up there, and I was trying to do the bow last because I didn't want to smash it 100 times, but I can't place florals without knowing where the bow is. So you're going to watch me whip up 4 bows pretty quickly. When I was making this, I was like, oh, I'm going slow enough that I can show everybody what I'm doing, but I wasn't going slow at all. I was just doing it. I think I'll make a detailed bow tutorial. The burlap is from Dollar Tree. The 3 plaid ribbons are from Wal-Mart. And in a minute I'm going to zoom out and you're going to see how messy my work area is, but the wreath was too big to not zoom out. So we're just going to have to deal with that. And I'm using cable ties for these just because I wanted to squeeze them down as tight as possible because there are going to be 4 of them on top of each other. And throughout this video I'm fluffing these bows, but I don't know why, because I end up smashing it repeatedly throughout the entire video and then refluffing it. So my first bow had 5 loops. All the subsequent ones have 6. Except for the last one, I think has 7, only because it has a center loop. This is a buffalo check. These Wal-Mart ribbons were nice. They weren't like totally fabric-y. They had a little bit of a plasticky backing on them, it felt like, but it made for like a heavy-bodied ribbon. Like you can't tell it's got like this plastic on the back. I mean, it's got a little bit of a sheen on the ribbon, but they were really nice. They made really nice bows. This is actually a gift wrap ribbon, but I saw another plaid and I was like, all plaid everything. And this is the one that has the center loop in it because this is the one that's going to go on top. So that's 3 loops. This makes 6. And then I'm going to do a shorter loop in the middle. And another cable tie. I've been using cable ties a lot lately when making bows because it's hard for me to twist the wire with my hands. Alright, so my big burlap bow is going down first. And that one's actually wired. I'm wiring it to the back. And I wrapped a little bit of the pine around it. You can see I have the 3 loops pointed down and the 2 loops pointed up. That should have been the other way around, but it really doesn't matter because there's so much bow when I'm done you can't really see where the loops are. So I've got the black and white one down, I've got the buffalo check one down, and now I am twisting the gray one in there. And you can see how smashed that bow is, and this is me fluffing it out again. If you're wondering what that thing on my head is, it's my sleeping mask because I have just been pretty much dead for the past couple days, and it's the worst it's been today, and I just want to go to the emergency room, but that means I would have to wait in the emergency room for the ridiculous people there. This is a pic from my grab bags from Christmas last year. I think it was, the bags were 3 for $5, and they were all boxes. So I bought, I think it was 9 boxes, and they were full of Christmas florals, and not just like crappy Christmas florals, like these $20 picks. And all I'm doing now is tearing it apart, because if there's one thing that I always do, it's I will never just stick a whole pick in a wreath. Like, I don't like that. Now we're zoomed out, and I've placed everything where I wanted it to go so I can get an idea of where it is, and then I took it all out so I can actually glue it in. And what I'm doing now is just putting some of these pine pieces in to bulk out this wreath, because the wreath, it was $3 regular price. I didn't pay nearly that much for it. I think I paid, the 90% off. And I just want to bulk it out some. Really just using that as a base. And I didn't use the poinsettias from this just because I am very hard to please when it comes to poinsettias. Like, you have got to really have something. And see, I like to place things first and then be like, okay, that's where I want it. And then take it out, add the glue, and shove it back in. And that was the Hobby Lobby pick. And these are the Michaels picks, just with the berries and the pine cones on them. And that's a big piece right there. But see how the more you add, the thicker the wreath gets, and you can't even really tell that there's another wreath underneath there. It just looks like a mixed greens wreath. So yeah, I like cutting up picks. I just feel like they go further, because if I had just left them together, I would have had these enormous, because those picks were really big, just these enormous pieces sticking out from the bow. And this is a juniper pick from Walmart. I got these this year. They were 98 cents each, and I wanted to put these in there because there's gray in the ribbons, gray and black, and I wanted the berries on the juniper, which there's not that many of them. There's just a couple, but they're blue, and I thought that kind of went with the bow. The contrast to all the red, even though there's not much red. So these are just kind of going where I want them to go. I'm seeing right here, all the tails of those bows are just pushed to the back for now, because I'm trying to, work around those. Now, I put these red ornaments in here, and I had 6 of them, so I was like, oh, I'll do 3 groups of 2. But I ended up changing them, because the more I looked at it, how do I put this? 2 of them together just looked like a pair of balls, like a pair of Christmas balls. And that's what I kept saying when I had 2 of them together, is two pairs of balls, So I do take the middle ones out and move them around, so there's a trio, which there's nothing wrong with 3 balls together. And some grapevine balls from Dollar Tree. I really like these. I just think they give you a little something, like a little natural element, without adding raffia or something that's gonna completely fall apart. And I did use this is what I'm deciding to take the ornaments off and move them around. I did use my condensed air to just get everything stuck so I can move on to the next thing. And these are Dollar Tree jingle bells that I rolled around in some brown paint and sprinkled with cinnamon. You can't really see on the video, but they're, a little bit rusty looking, a little bit distressed. And I think it's amazing that this wreath, I mean, not like, oh, I'm so amazing, but amazing that this wreath, as wimpy as it was, how beefed up it got from 3 picks. Now, this is where I did run into trouble because I always see wreaths online with like these things in the middle of them. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it because this took a long. I mean, I got it. Trust, I got it. But it took a long time of me trying to get it straight. I mean, I assume most of the time they're working with the wreath hanging, which is how I always make wreaths. I've never made a wreath except in videos when I'm like sitting down with the camera overhead. Like, I always like to have it hanging up because I want to walk back and check it out and then come back and move things around. And Christmas wreaths are the only ones where I actually will hot glue, because that's the only time that hot glue could survive down here, is usually, you know, winter. So I want this bow off center to the left. I mean, I have Christmas wreaths hanging all over my house that I've made, that people will buy, that people will rent, and every one of them is just off to the side like that. That's just what I like. If you like it in the middle, you like it in the bottom, you like it somewhere else, whatever. And now I'm just messing with the tails, seeing where I want to get them, because I do want to be able to see the pie plate in the middle. And here we go, fluffing the bow again. Which, after all this fluffing, you'd think that in the final pictures the bow would be like perfect, but it's not. There's like a part of it that's smashed, but what you gonna do? Sometimes you just gotta live your life. See, I'm tucking some of these tails back and curling a few of them, and that pie plate's in there as good as it's gonna get. I think I would have to go back and add some of those like garland ties from Dollar Tree and just glue them around and really secure it in. Because it's in there, but it's not, like, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling this at this point. And here it is. I really like the way it came out, especially because I really did use so little materials. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I feel terrible, so I'm gonna go take a nap, and subscribe, comment, like, turn your notifications, follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye-bye.